Hello, this is Chris Miller with Waive, and I'd like to show you how to quickly set up your very first waiver. When you're on our homepage, you can go ahead and click Sign Up and plug in your email address and your password. And the first thing you'll need to do is update your profile. Consumers won't be able to find your waivers unless you complete your profile. So go ahead and fill in your business name, first name, submit. And then you can go ahead and create your first waiver template by clicking on the Templates tab on the left and clicking on New Template. And we'll name our form, and then whatever you name your form will show up at the top of the waiver or the release form. So the customer will see this. Give it a version number, 1.0 for this one. And the access URL is where the form will actually exist on the internet. So you'll find the form at forms.signwave/ whatever you type in this box. And the exit URL is the web page that the users will land on after they complete their waiver. So we've created a landing page at signwave.com/thankyou. You could also have them go to your home page. You could also have them go to your Facebook fan page, whatever you'd like. And you do need to plug in http:// at the beginning of that. We'll leave the waiver as active for now. If you'd like to build your waiver without making it active, you can make it inactive, but for now we'll just leave it active since we'll set up one pretty quickly here. Go ahead and click Submit. And the waiver template already has a text input example. We'll go ahead and delete that out. And we'll start off by adding a content element with as a paragraph. So we can go in and edit the text that'll show up in this paragraph. I'll go ahead and delete the label since that won't be needed. And in this box is where all of the waiver legal jargon would go. And within this content editor, you can actually add in HTML tags. So for instance, if I wanted to make this text bigger here, I could add in an HTML tag to make that text show up bigger. If I'd like some of the text underlined, I can plug in an underline tag. And if you need any help whatsoever in formatting the text to make it show up correctly, the staff here at Waive is more than happy to help walk you through some of the basic HTML tags that you can do to make items be bolded, underlined, to make them larger and whatnot. But anyways, I've got the waiver text there, and we'll have to collect some information from our customers. So the most important form element is the customer tab. We'll go ahead and delete the label on that as well, as the rest is self-explanatory. If you do not use this customer field, it will not compile the customer's information correctly if you'd like to do more marketing to them down the road. So we'll add the customer information. We'd like to learn how our customers found out about us, so we'll add a radio button. And we'll put in a title on this label. And we'll say, how did you find out about us? Did you find us on Google? Did you find us on a Facebook post? You will walk in. Or word of mouth. And I can add in another field. I'd like to know the age of our customers, so we'd like to add in a date of birth. So I can add that in, and if I'd like to reorganize it, I can just click and hold and drag to rearrange. And we'll say date of birth. And we'd like to collect a signature from our customer. And I'd like to also be able to capture their ID when the customers come in. Now, everything we filled in so far are items that the end user, your customers will see, and things that the customer will fill in. But for collecting the picture of their ID, I'd like to have my staff do that, and I would not like to give access to that area for my end customers. So I'll go ahead and click on camera, and that'll plug in the camera utility at the end of this waiver. I'll call this ID photo capture. And since I only want my staff collecting this information from the customer, I'll go ahead and click admin only, and you'll see down the road why that's important and what that means. But essentially, your staff will only have access to that form element. And I'll go ahead and, if you noticed, all changes have been saved. If you're quick enough, you can add in a field and have to save the form, but the program automatically saves any changes that are made on the fly. So unless you're really quick, you really won't have to ever click Save Form. But every once in a while, you might see that that item is green, and you go ahead and save form. And now I can go and view this template. And this is a preview of what the waiver will look like in the real world. Again, I can edit it, or I can go ahead and delete it. But right now I'm viewing the template, and here is what our access URL, as I typed in earlier as test waiver, will show up at forms.signwave.com/whatever the access URL you type in. So if I click on that, this is where the form will actually exist out on the internet. So a customer could come in and fill all this information in. They could go ahead and sign. Go ahead and show you how this works here. Click submit. And as you see, it'll redirect me to the thank you page I've created. And that's what the customer would see on their end when they fill out the waiver. Now on my end, now that the customer has filled out the waiver, there is now a waiver showing up in pending. And this would be as if a staff member would be logging into the back end to take a look at what waivers are pending. And as they see, they can see all the information that was filled out. They can see the signature from the customer. And now they can get a picture of the ID of the customer. And this is the section that only the staff member would have access to. So you could hold up the ID right to the camera and click take photo. I didn't pull out my ID, but then the staff member would click complete if the waiver looks correct and all the information matches. And now if we click on the completed tab, that completed waiver will show up in our completed waiver inbox. And in just a few minutes, we've created a waiver, had the customer fill it out, and the staff has approved the waiver. And that is the basic workflow that operates within SignWave. So if I go back into templates and I view that test waiver template, you'll notice I can basically copy and paste this link if I'd like to share it with the customer. I can click on email link and email it to a customer if I'd like to email it to them. We also have a SMS text link that we're working on. Right now this feature is not available. We'll let you know as soon as it is, but we will be able to send a text message to somebody with a link to the waiver so they can pull it up right up on their phone. You can also get an iframe code to embed the form directly within your website. Or you can use QR codes. You can print these off and put those at your store location, and your customers can simply scan this QR code, and it'll basically pull up this website. One thing to note is if you do change, if you were to print off this QR code, it's based off of this text. And if you were to change the access URL, which you are able to do, the QR code will no longer point to the right website. So we suggest just never changing the access URL, the last part of the form URL. But if you do, just keep in mind that you'll also have to print off all your QR codes again if you were to change it. So simply just don't change it and you'll be fine. And that's all the ways on how to share your waiver with your customers. And in the next video, we'll show you all the different ways that your customers can actually fill out the waivers on their end.